Hello, my name is Darren Grubel, and I'm part of the Management 110 ABBA class at Fresno State. In the future, I'd like to get a position as a communications coordinator. I've always felt like I've excelled at communications. I have creative and marketing experience in the past, as well as some acting, so I just assumed that I was going to be on the upper end of the spectrum when it came to communications. Then my Iliad performance came in, and I was ranked in the 26th percentile. I thought I was closer to 90, so clearly I have some work to do. I'm going to be focusing on 3 things for the next 6 months. First, strategy of performance. Second, developing sticky messages. And finally, clarity in my writing. When it came to my performance, I got hit for appropriate nonverbals, lack of eye contact, confidence, and appropriate pace. I mean, these are textbook performance issues. So I'm going to be doing recordings just like this where I can reevaluate what happened, and I think that's going to help me out tremendously. I also need to step up to do more presentations, especially with content that I'm not as familiar with. I just haven't had to do speeches in a while, so just the quantity is going to help. Next, I know that I have a tendency to speed up my pacing as I get nervous, so I think that the extra practice is going to help kind of just calm my heart rate so that I can give a better performance overall. Second, making messages that are sticky. I can't just walk into a presentation and read some info if I want people to remember what I said. So I need to structure my messages in a way that connects emotionally with the audience, paints a clear vision of where I'm heading, and then capitalizes on catchphrases so that I can land those points. That means telling stories and looking for humorous or emotionally resonant moments. It also means wrestling with my speech longer so that I can craft those memorable phrases. In addition, I have to evaluate how I'm using the persuasion strategies of ethos, pathos, and logos and make sure that I touch on each of them. Finally, when it comes to writing, I have a great tendency to be a word vomiter. And I know that sounds a lot worse than what I mean, but my strength really comes from getting content on the page. I'm often that person that gets that first draft done when those around me are stuck. It's just the editing process that things start to fall apart. I need to slow my process down and build in time to review what I've written. This fact was actually illustrated in the Iliad assessment as well, with the quantity of my work performed. I was ranked in the 100th percentile when it came to important memos written, but the quality of my writing was closer to that median 50. I've simply got to start slowing down and get back in the practice of rereading my work. So to tackle this, I'm going to require myself to reread everything I write, whether it's an email or a speech or a script. And if any major revisions are required, I'm going to complete a whole nother pass. I know that sounds super simple, but I just need to build in that time so that I can regain the habit. I know tackling these 3 key subjects is going to help me succeed in the future as a communications coordinator. As a means of tracking myself for the next 6 months, I'm just going to be using a simple Moleskine to tally how many times I deliver a speech and key metrics like ethos, pathos, and logos. I also am going to make a small journal entry about how I felt I did with the speech, and talk about things like eye contact and pace. And hopefully I'll be able to look back in my progress in October and see some growth, because I honestly know that I'm going to need these skills in the future. Thank you so much for your time.